the reason the activity on your account has been stopped is, even if the stop payments were put on there without your knowledge, we apologize, but I'm pretty sure that they've been trying to work with you to try to, because of all the comments on your account, to try to get this verified.
Actually, that's not true, because every time I talked to them, they said I had to talk to this Sally Bice who...
So have you talked to her?
No, I haven't. And the reason why is because, I had money in the account, and I wrote these checks, and all of a sudden there was no notification, no phone call, whatever, saying that these payments were going to be stopped. And lo and behold, that stop payment was placed on these checks without my authorization. And now I'm looking at some fees and possibly some fines because these stop payments. Because what Sally did was a criminal act. It's called fraud.
No, it isn't.
Well, I'm going to call the police, and I'm going to be filing the report if these checks are happening. This check matter has not been rectified because these were checks issued to me. They have my checking account number. There's money in the account. And
well, it is, but the flip side of that, it is not fraud. The fraud part is where we are required by law to do identification, and the challenge is that we have so many days to verify our members when they open accounts with us, and we have not been able to do that. So back in January, when we still were not able to validate your information, we put a flag on this account because we still have not been able to verify that with you. So,
see, I
caution you.
I gave y'all voter's registration, I gave you driver's license, and that's not, that's the documents that you have to take into the United States. But the problem
is that your driver's license and your voter's registration, we can't use voter registration. That's not a valid form of ID for us. But when we ran our ID verification system, you didn't...
There was adverse action.
Right.
Okay. Did you notify me in writing about this adverse action as required by the
We would have told you, it's because you open your account online, it would have been flagged, and we would have told you we needed, that's when we called you and said we needed additional verification of your ID. It's not a credit adverse action.
It sounds like it to me because this is denying services, and this is an FCRA issue.
But it would have been flagged when you tried to open it online, and it came out with all of the discrepancies. It's not really an adverse action. It's more of a discrepancy that the information that you've provided in the system doesn't match what the databases out there on Will McLeod have.
Well, the databases are incorrect. There's also
then that's something that you have to work on.
Okay, well, how do I contact that credit bureau to fix these inaccuracies?
Well, it isn't a credit bureau. I'm looking at the information on your account, and it says that the first address you gave us was a Shipley Donuts.
That is not correct, because Shipley's Donuts is 14088 Dictatorships. And I provided 14080 Dictatorships. And I'm willing to take a picture of Shipley's Donuts in the house.
Keyed it in, if that's how it came in. But regardless of the fact, is we still, based on this information, we still have not been able to prove that you are who you say you are. And until that is done, by law, we are having to freeze this account until we can do so.
Okay, ma'am, I read the Patriot Act. I read the whole 345 pages of the Patriot Act.
Okay.
And nowhere does it say that, you can place these check freezes without notification. Nowhere does it say on there.
It doesn't talk specifically about check freezes. What it does say is that if we cannot guarantee the identity of the accounts that we have opened, that we should be closing them and sending the money back to the owner. At least we have not closed this account, but that looks like what we're going to have to do is just close this and send you your money. Because it doesn't sound like we're getting to the point where you're going to be able to provide the proper identification that we're going to need.
Then if this was a federal law, how come all the banks and credit unions are not doing the same thing you're doing?
I can't speak for other financial institutions.
Of course you can, because that's not correct. I just recently opened a checking account with Ally, and by the way, I actually got credit from PayPal, which is a bill me later service, which they gave me a credit limit of $800. So my credit is impeccable, and your actions are actually ruining my credit by placing these stop payments, and I'm afraid I'm probably going to have to talk to a lawyer.
Okay. Well, I mean, if Ally is able to have an account that you can use, then I think we need to close this out, give you a check, and you take your money to Ally.
Well, then I need these checks to go through.
They won't.
They won't.
We can't, because you've not provided proper identification.
I have provided you proper identification. I provided you my driver's license. You can validate it. If Ally can validate it, you can validate it.
Well, then I can't.
Do I have to file a lawsuit against y'all under Texas Human Resources Code and FCRA and some other stuff?
Well, I don't know what, I can't advise you on what you need to do.
Okay.
I can tell you that we can hand you the money that's in the account, and then you can go back to the institutions that you've written these checks to. I don't know who you wrote the checks to, and you can pay them that way. And tell them, there's been a misunderstanding at your financial institution, and, the checks have been put a stop payment on, but here you can take the funds and pay them that way.
Well, what about the return check fees? Now I incurred damages. Now I incurred damages as a result of your negligence. Your company's negligence. I incurred damages.
Okay. We are not going to be responsible for those damages, because we have been asking you for 2 months to try to validate the information that we can't do. So
you can validate it, and other banks have validated it, and if I got to subpoena all the banks I bank with and the court to get this done, I'll do it.
Okay. Well, I don't think we're going to see eye to eye on this. I've offered you some alternatives.
And I've already complained to the NCUA too.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to the BBB. And I'm going to go to the media.
Okay.
I got you recorded too.
Okay.
And it's going to be posted on YouTube.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Yeah. I want to speak to Randy Smith.
He will not speak to the members.
Oh, he will not?
Right.
Do I have to do a background check on Mr. Randy Michael Smith and call him in his home number? Because that's what I'm going to do next.
Well, I think what we will do next is we're going to go ahead and close your account, and we're going to mail a check to this address on Nacogdoches Road. And that way you will have immediate access to the funds. You can cash that check at Ally Bank, and then you can move forward, and then you can do whatever you need to do at that point. But since we cannot validate who you are, then, instead of continuing to give you an opportunity to correct it,
you have validated who I am.
No, we just need to go ahead and follow the law.
Okay, where in the law does it say that? What specific code and what specific chapter does it say? Because I have the whole law book online.
Then you will be able to find where financial institutions are told that if we cannot validate the identity of the people that are opening accounts with us, or account holders, we have to close the accounts within 10 business days.
Well, then, do you take thumbprints as well? Because I'll give you a thumbprint.
We don't take thumbprints.
You don't take thumbprints. So.
No, we need to validate.
So you make these rules up as you go, and you can discriminate against disabled, homeless, and what have you not. Because I'm going to be calling the Texas Civil Rights Project, and I do a lot of work with them.
Okay.
They're really big.
All right.
Okay, I'm sure you don't care, but
No, at this point, I've asked you to validate your information, and
which I did.
No, I'm asking you to bring in something else. That validation wasn't. It didn't help us. If it had helped us and had been able to tell us that you are who you say you are, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, then your data broker is providing incorrect information.
Well, for all other 300,000 members that we have, it's worked pretty well.
Well, then it needs to be corrected with the data broker, and I need to find your data broker. I need the name and address and contact of your data broker.
We don't share who our partners and vendors are. Our goal is to make sure that we are in compliance.
If you're running a background check on me, you're supposed to.
It's a background check. It's a validation.
It's a validation. It doesn't matter if it's a validation or a background check. The FACTA law requires that.
Okay.
And
but I don't think that we're gonna make any progress.
Well, let me speak to someone higher up than you.
Well, I'm the Senior Vice President of Operations, and so it's either me or Mr. Smith.
well,
And
then,
Mr. Smith's office has already told you that he does not speak to our members. That's why we're here.
he does not speak to his members,
He
but
doesn't.
you know, it's very interesting because there was a tax fraud case against him in 1990 and 1991 filed with the Bexar County District Clerk.
Okay. I have no idea what you're speaking of.
Oh, I know what it is. It's on public record. He was the defendant in that action.
Totally irrelevant to the conversation.
Oh, yes, it is irrelevant because, you know, I mean, once someone, if someone's going to dodge taxes, then, or might be investigated for dodging taxes, then that really speaks loud of why they don't want to speak to their members. Because, you know, he's the guy running the bank, then if he's the guy running the bank, then he should be able to talk to his members.
That's why he hires me, and that's why he hires Sally.
Well, when y'all are not providing excellent customer service, then one has to talk to them to get the job done, if necessary. That's the nature of customer service.
Right.
Okay.
But you don't, there are very few companies, Mr. McLeod, where you get to talk to the president over the organization.
Oh, that's not true.
Yes.
Because y'all play, some companies actually play these games with people that prevent, they try to hinder and screen their calls to where they can't get in touch with the president.
Okay. Well, is there anything else I can do for you?
I want to speak to Randy Michael Smith, and if I can't speak to Randy Michael Smith, I'm just going to have to run a background check and call him at his house in New Braunfels.
All right. Well, you are not going to be able to speak to him.
Oh, yes, I will.
Okay.
You want to bet on that?
No, I'm not a betting person, but I will tell you that your account will be closed before the end of the day.
Oh, in retaliation to this.
No.
Okay. Yeah, in retaliation, yes. Well, that will, when the tape gets played back and then placed on YouTube, this will prove that it's in retaliation. Because it wasn't until that point where I wanted to speak to Randy Michael Smith that y'all wanted to retaliate and close my account.
If you listen to the tape that you apparently have, you will know that I offered this 5 minutes ago and said that the best thing is, since you have a relationship with Ally Bank, we will close this account, send you the money so that you can do your business with them.
You know, you're also violating the the credit opportunity laws.
Oh, no.
Yes, you are. I'm a disabled person, and I've actually requested reasonable accommodation. I know you don't care, but you know what? The courts will. The courts will under the Texas Human Resources Code statute.
It has nothing to do with your ability. And like I said,
Well, you know what? You need to look me up on Pacer. You need to look up the lawsuits I filed and I have settled out of court with Pacer. I've sued a former landlord that tried to play these hide-and-go-seek games just like your bank. I sued a former employer, and I sued a police officer.
Okay.
So I got an impeccable record in the law.
All right. Well, I think we're done today.
And you know what? I'm on welfare, so you won't be able to collect a dime on me, but I'll be able to collect from you, and I'll be able to file my lawsuit for free.
Okay.